are not part of them. Anybody who says today that Nigeria is doing well, you are a liar.
The political gladiators.
He's so fixated about certain things. He's totally insensitive.
His own is garnished with matrimonial rascality. I've said this on this platform before, that it is impossible for you to campaign without looking stupid.
Their conversations, their manifestos.
So, because the man is Igbo, it doesn't matter. The part of being Igbo makes him unelectable. How can you trust him? If President Buhari supports Bola Tinubu, he is not a true Muslim.
A man with this type of moral decay have no moral grounds to come to a respected studio like this.
Join us every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 9 a.m.
for a holistic bumper-packed political showpiece on Super 88.1 FM.
From a strain of that is happening in Nigeria in the political scene to giving you the littlest information that you need to inform you, inspire, and influence you for 2023 elections. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Road to 2023, live on 88.1 Super FM. We are live across the South Nigeria online at superfm.online. You could also check us out across the socials at Super FM Benin. We're live on Facebook, the Twitch TV, and on YouTube, all at Super FM Benin. My name is Chuks, joined this morning by Honorable Gbenga, James, and Israel Adebiyi from, that's the head of the news. Honorable Gbenga, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Chuks. Good morning, Israel. And of course, we have a guest in the studio with us as well, Derrick Uhunwangho. It's a member of the Labour Party, and he's also vying in the forthcoming elections to represent Egor constituency.
House of Assembly,
in the Edo State House of Assembly. So we are mighty glad to be back on the road to 2023, the first cut of 3 editions in this week. And gentlemen, I mean, a lot has been happening on the political space, and let us also look at the society at large. Yesterday, it was about protests here and there, and people protesting against recent happenings, ongoing happenings in the country that's got to do with the fuel scarcity and the escalating prices. I mean, most persons, 90 or 95% of the people, are forced to buy above the pump price. What is officially the pump price. Different amounts of money have been bandied about as how much people buy fuel. And in most cases, you see long queues. Valuable man hours being lost to queues at the filling station. And again, people have also complained loudly about the issue of money swap, the old for the new notes. That's not been very easy, as it were. We've seen queues at the banks. Most of the times, the new notes are not sufficient or readily available at the banks, and neither are they readily dispensed at the ATM points. And all of these have culminated in frustration in people. I mean, increasing the intensity of the suffering of the people, and not a few have taken to the streets to protest, to complain about this. Now, Israel, you are in town yesterday and you saw a number of these protests. You may want to also bring us up to speed on this before we start talking to Derrick on this particular issue.
Well, good morning, Benin City, and good morning, Honorable. A number of things we've complained about on this platform, and one of them is the seemingly silence of the civil society organizations in Edo State and across the country, and the fact that people seem to have come to accept the increase in the value of buying fuel, even though there is no official statement from the federal government to that effect. And as we can see, it seems the civil society organizations have woken up, and they are now asking questions from relevant authorities, demanding that government provide explanation. Is there an official hike in the pump price of fuel?
And what is the price?
Exactly. If there is, let Nigerians know exactly what the price is. And you can see the effect of this increase, on transportation. Places you enter vehicles for 100 naira before, now you have to pay 350 and so on. So a lot of things are just wrong out there, and we need to just speak to it. We need to let Nigerians understand that a lot of things are wrong, and we need to demand from our leaders a better representation. The Labour Party issued a statement yesterday concerning this, telling Nigerians you can't continue to have a arbitrary increase in the value of petroleum, which is a mainstay of the economy, because almost every business have to depend on it. diesel you can't buy. A bus driver was joking with me this morning. He said, oh, we packed our vehicles that are run by diesel, and now we pick fuel, and now we come to petroleum, and the price of petroleum is also skyrocketing. So it tells you, and the end at the end of all this are those who have to ply the road every day, who have to pay for bus fare, who have to take taxi, who have to hail cabs. They are the ones that they transfer this to. A man was beaten to a pub yesterday at TED just because he demanded, why will you increase transportation from 200 naira to 500 naira? It doesn't make sense. And they descended on him that, are you not in Nigeria? They beat the hell out of him, and we can't continue like this.
All right, Derrick, this is to welcome you to the program today. Your party has issued a statement on this development. So I'd like you to jump on it as we commence discussion with you on the road to 2023 this morning.
Yeah, a very good morning to you all. I remain Derrick Uhunwangho, Labour Party candidate for Edo State House of Assembly, Egor constituency. I am not yet privy to the official statement issued by my party in relation to the hardship faced by Nigerians, vis-a-vis the scarcity of the Naira notes and or the fuel scarcity ravaging our citizens in Nigeria. But what I have to say in relation to the fuel scarcity is that it is man-made, and it is an attempt to cause further hardship on the generality of the people of Nigeria. Nigerians are very resilient people. We are people with what I know as stoic virtues. People are able to bear hardship, but the hardship seems to be so much now, so much, to the extent that there are still people in our society that go home with 30,000 naira monthly. 30,000 is not enough to even buy a bag of rice.
That's the minimum wage.
This is as a result of high level of corruption in high places, and also as a result of poverty of leadership in almost every strata of our governance structure or system. And it is unacceptable. One of the main characteristics of these very wicked leaders that we have is that they are not satisfied with stealing or keeping money for themselves. You can see people stealing 5-10 billion naira. What are you going to spend the money for? 5-10 billion naira. Yet they go further to steal hundreds of billions of naira, trillions of naira. For what? So the situation has become very, very devastating and worrisome until we take very strong steps to ensuring that we forestall this situation.
When you say strong step, because nowadays people jump on words, I would like you to clarify what you mean by strong step.
Okay, check this out. In my manifesto, I have a manifesto.
We'll get there, but I just want to
check. No, I'll have to explain it from the document that I am using to, conscientize people to vote for me. Okay. In the Article 3 of my manifesto, I will propose a bill when elected as member representing a constituency in the Edo State House of Assembly. I will propose a bill and do every proper thing to ensuring that the governor of the state signs this into law. The bill is to allow death sentence for corrupt public office holders. See, corrupt public office holders are the worst thing that, or worst set of people that can happen to a society.
Derrick, don't you also think that death penalty, the maximum penalty, is rather becoming unpopular in the world nowadays? And you think that we have to go that route to be able to stamp out? No, I understand how debilitating the effect of corruption has been. We are all victims because whatever we suffer in our country, whatever is a reverse in the developmental space of Nigeria, it's largely due to corruption and corrupt tendencies of past, present public officers. How about that penalty? don't you think that it's like I said, I mean, this 21st century, and we're talking 2023, don't you think it's already becoming very unpopular?
I think what we should be concerned about is that the fact that
or do we have to kill people per se now for us to stamp out corruption?
The fact that there is still death penalty till date in our judicial system is what should be worrisome to you. If an armed robber, someone who used dagger, gun to dispossess people of their property,
and maybe kill them in the process.
Not necessarily. If an armed robber is still being sentenced to death today in our judicial system, that should be what should be worrisome to us. Not the fact that we are also incorporating the apex, criminal tendency in our society is corruption, as far as I'm concerned. A corrupt public office holder can, its action alone can lead to millions of Nigerians, being out of jobs, being out of economic engagement, and what have you. And this might be as a result. Not every one of us have very strong resilience in relation to, facing suffering and hardship. Some of them, because of one kind of mental defect or another, can take to armed robbery. Yes, they can take to armed robbery. And because of the hardship that they've been, plugged into by the corrupt public office holders, then they took to armed robbery, and when they are caught, they face death penalty. So why can't those who actually caused this situation also face the same penalty?
All right,
that should be the situation here.
Mr. Derrick, I usually when people come on the show, and I like to listen for a while to get to understand how they would address certain issues and the points they try to push out. Now, this morning we got a bit from you reacting to certain things in Nigeria, and one of them I would like to quickly just check it out so that it doesn't seem as if I'm taking it out of context, right? But before I get there, so a while ago, the entire country, I would say a vast majority of the entire country, changed the People's Democratic Party at the national level and opted for the APC at the national level, and different promises were made, change was made.
Promise to change.
Promise to change. Like you vigorously, you're talking about corruption, and the mantra with which the current administration came into office was also to fight corruption. And as we speak right now, we can see that there is a very huge difference in how this administration has fared in terms of. Somebody posted something and said high cost of living is killing the living in Nigeria. And that is a very deep statement.
What a paradox.
Very deep statement. So now you're coming on board and you are vying for the Edo State House of Assembly as a lawmaker representing Oredo constituency.
No,
Egor, sorry. And now you are also talking about fighting the same corruption. So it's almost seeming like a music too much that we've heard, and we would like to know what, in very clear terms, people would like to know what are your plans in ensuring that every word you say right now, you are able to bring it to pass, to fusion in Edo State, so that people from Edo State in general
will know that when they vote you in.
That's not just about casting. I would like to really
check this out. It is as clear as it goes.
Okay, make it clear for us, please.
In the past, the APC government said they were going to fight corruption.
Yeah.
But they did not lay down a blueprint for which they were going to use.
Okay, what's your blueprint?
I already told you that I'm going to sponsor a bill and do every proper thing to ensuring that bill is signed into law by the governor of the state.
Please hold on, Mr.
Which
Derrick.
is...
Just hold up, sorry. Now, I'm pretty sure that you're aware that this current administration, local government autonomy, they've, the National House of Assembly, they've done the child right law, the open grazing. Many states have still not domesticated this. So when you say you would make sure that the state governor
sign it into law.
How are you going? How are you going to do that?
There is a word called lobbying.
Yeah. How are you going to do that?
Check this out, my brother. You see, I am not a neophyte in legislative business.
Okay.
I am a former student government president of parliament, SUG Senate president in Auchi Polytechnic. After that, I became councillor representing Ward 7, Uselu Constituency 1 in the Egor Legislative Arm, and I was elected as councillor, and in the in-house election, I was elected as its deputy leader, which is the deputy speaker of the legislative arm. I have experience. I'm not a neophyte. I know how to get things done in the legislative corridor, if you permit me to say that. And also, I know how to fight for a right and just cause.
When you also say fight,
I am passionate.
Sorry, this is radio, and we are word sensitive.
Very important.
When you say fight, explain the fight. I, as a person, I understand what you mean fight in relative terms, within context of legislative chambers. But there is a little boy listening there, say fight. Don't let him go and start sharpening his focus.
I was going there. I said, I am a very passionate person when it comes to the cause of fighting for the oppressed. You know, yesterday we were out there on the street. I joined the civil rights activists to protest the fuel hike in our filling station and the hoarding of petroleum products by the feudal lords in our political landscape. And we met the Speaker of the House of Assembly, and our charter of demand was presented to them that the state government should immediately set up the petroleum monitoring committee, like 911. You know, that was part of our charter of demands. And we also told them that if they fail to address this artificial fuel scarcity ravaging our society today, if they fail to do it immediately, then we'll come out on the street again. And we, as at that point, we might not be able to control the deviant tendencies of those hoodlums out there who always want to catch in on peaceful
So your
protest.
whole fight now is civic and intellectual
all
engagement.
Day long.
Civic and intellectual
all
engagement.
Day long.
That is the language I wanted to
all
put
day
across.
long.
Okay,
and
good.
I can assure you that I have a blueprint. Like I said, I'm among the very few candidates who have a manifesto. I have a blueprint on how to achieve the various items in my manifesto.
Quickly, because of time, can you just give us highlights? I didn't mean, yes, just a highlight, not necessarily detailed explanation of each item on your manifesto. Just give us the highlights.
For example, Article 1 of my manifesto. My manifesto is titled The Way of the Future. When I say the way of the future, I'm not trying to say it theoretically or poetically or in any other fancy way. I mean it is the way of the future. The Article 1 states thus that I will make a law to make 5% of the state's annual budget accessible as grants to local economic enablers.
You said you will make a law, or would you sponsor a bill?
Sponsor a bill,
okay.
But it will end up being a law. So we can as well say it's a law, you know, and to ensure that these local and economic enablers are the petty and micro business owners, the small and medium business owners, the artisans, and the entrepreneurs. Those are the local economic enablers. And if I am correct...
So you will facilitate the bill.
The bill. And I will ensure, do all proper things to ensuring that the state...
That it becomes signed into
law. You know? And if you recall that this year's budget, I think it's around 320 billion naira. 5% of that amount is around 1.6 billion and some fraction. And the criteria for assessing this law will be payment of tax. All individuals who are up to date in payment of their tax would be eligible to access these grants. And every association, you know, artisan association that are effective and have a very good blueprint towards, you know, expanding their sector. For example, the organizers, they come together, they say maybe they want to build a park, you know, where they can bring in this equipment instead of using the iron to jack the tire, you know, they can decide to want to do something different towards expanding the business. Then this grant is for them, the tailors and what have you. So this is to ensuring that the economic landscape in our society improve. Today, the Americans and the Europeans are talking about AI, wherein people will no longer have jobs. Yet we are here, and still at the very lowest level of developmental, process, which is unacceptable. So businesses here must be supported instead of government going abroad to shop for multinationals that have enjoyed the support of government of their countries, bringing them down here to set up, up to even retail, outlets, which is supposed to be normally for our people here. We should support our businesses so that the child of that vulcanizer will not go abroad to work for that individual abroad. He will stay here knowing that government is not supporting his daddy's business, and his daddy's business have the tendency and the potential to grow. He will stay here and put into his ideas that he has learned in the school and put it into the business with a view to expanding it. That's Article 1. Article 2 is a law to make it mandatory for all public office holders to patronize public and local institutions and facilities in Edo State. That means a public office holder will no longer travel abroad for medical tourism. It becomes, can I say a misdemeanor? It becomes a misdemeanor for you to do that. Okay. Your children must also access our local institutions like the schools, and so on and so forth. You cannot travel abroad anymore if you are a public office holder.
Honorable Derrick, that's almost coming across like taking some person's fundamental human rights away.
How about this? Check this out. Yeah. If you are a public office holder, meaning you are the custodian of our public facilities, if as a custodian of our public facility, you cannot patronize our public facility, what is the moral for you being a public officer?
Honorable Derrick,
you exist to serve the public.
Let me give you a statistic that probably would I don't think it's a popular opinion, but you could check it out. At some time when Barack Obama was president in the United States, his kids schooled in Germany. Yeah, you could confirm that for yourself.
I'm talking about those states. I don't care about Barack Obama or America.
Excuse me, sir. Why I'm saying that is because people have right to choice.
This is not about rights. If you
want to get into public office, what you were saying, because you said this is not about right. If you want to get into public office, does this mean that your fundamental human rights is taken away?
You still don't get it.
Okay, please make
the social contract that a politician have put himself into in serving the people is to ensure that the life and well-being of the people are protected.
Okay.
If in protecting the life and well-being of the people, meaning you have to improve on the public infrastructure.
Okay.
If the public infrastructure is what you, as a public servant, cannot access, then what gives you the impetus to remain in power as a public office holder?
Thank you. I think we will not belabor this particular point so much because there will be no winner in this argument. I mean, the issue of fundamental human rights is well enshrined in UN Charter and in the constitution of each country.
Even in
but
Nigeria.
I also know that in politics, every politics, it's local. You understand? And Derrick is well within his rights to say, okay, if he is voted in as a representative of Egor constituency in the Edo State House of Assembly, he will push for bills that will do this and that. And I'm sure that a number of eligible voters perhaps are listening now to these and they know what they want.
Well, we're getting a lot of comments already.
So maybe we should just get some of the feedback now so that we don't belabor. But Derrick has been able to tell us, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll facilitate, I'll push this and that as a lawmaker when and if my constituents vote me into office.
Okay, one of the prevalent Honorable Derrick is, by the way, we've been talking to Honorable Derrick right on Super 88.1 FM. He is vying for the Edo State House of Assembly for the Egor constituency. All right. Thank you so much, Honorable Derrick, for coming around. Now, the prevalent question is, what are the ideologies of the Labour Party? So I'm just going to try to munch all the questions into...
Okay, that people are asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are the ideologies of the Labour Party?
Or the overriding ideology?
Yeah, just overriding.
The Labour Party's ideology borders mostly around welfareism. Welfare for the people of our society, welfare for the working class, the civil servants, the small and medium business owners, the artisans who are also part of the labor, they are the trade union, group, they are part of the NLC. Everything about Labour Party is about welfare for the people of a society. And if we are a welfareist party, we should ensure that the highest standard of welfare package is available for the people out there, whom we are freely, put ourselves out there to serve. We exist as public servants for the people of the society and not the other way around.
All right, let's open the phone lines. Thank you so much. Some of the other questions you're asking, it's not for Mr. Derrick, but after the show, we'll probably be able, myself and Abigail will probably be able to research some of that and give you the answers. All right, 0705-512-9881 or 0705-5727-881. 27 minutes past 9 in the state capital. Hello, good morning. Call us back 0705-512-9881 or 0705-5727-881. Remember, you can also join us on WhatsApp via the number 0705-9676-881. We're also live on Facebook, YouTube, and the Twitch TV. You could also download our app from the Play Store, search for Super FM Global, install it, and take us anywhere you want to take us to. But the fastest way to do this so that we can munch all this into one is send us a WhatsApp or a text message to 0705-9676-881. Remember, Mr. Derrick is not here to answer the issues that is Bet Evelyn Nigeria at the moment, right? He's not in charge of any, or he's not a spokesperson for any of these offices. So I can't tell him to talk for the petroleum minister or give, like you're all suggesting. Please, the president of the Federal Republic is the petroleum minister. Just maybe when we have someone that can help us get to the petroleum minister,
then we'll let you know.
We'll let you know. Because Derrick doesn't work in that sector. I hope I've spoken your mind.
Yeah. Well, of course, Derrick knows well that he's not the minister of food.
Okay, so while we're still open for you to join us via text, remember you can call us 0705-512-9881 or 0705-5727-881. Just a quick question to you, Honorable Derrick.
Derrick. No title. Please.
He's not in office yet. Derrick.
Okay, Derrick. So let's.
What that? No title.
Okay. He was a former councillor, but
No title.
Yeah. Okay, so let me find out from you now to the actual people of in Egor. The actual people that would vote you.
The constituents.
Yeah, that would, cast their vote if they want to. What are your words to them?
Well, to let them know that the issue of legislature is a serious business. Edo State House of Assembly is not Big Brother Naija. It's a place where serious business is attended to, a place where the welfare of Egor people is attended to. If you go around the metropole, which comprise Oredo, Ipubaha, and Egor, you will realize that Egor is far behind in terms of developmental projects, in terms of economic engagement. I'm sure maybe this is as a result of the fact that we do not have a member representing us in the Edo State House of Assembly at the moment. So when these people want to go out there to vote, they should think well, think deep, and reflect on how Egor have been shortchanged, wherein we do not have someone representing us in the Edo State House of Assembly. We voted an individual, we voted a political party. At the end of the day, politics, they played politics, and the Egor people were robbed of their representation. They should have that in mind when they go out to cast their votes. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I think That's about it for us on the program on the road to 2023 this beautiful morning. I want to say big thanks to Derrick, who made that time to be here with us and spoke on issues around within the political space, and also particularly his plans for
some of the plans.
Yes, some of the plans for Egor people, and of course, not forgetting the presence of Israel, Adebiyi,
who is always just
Well, I've been itching to say a lot, but just to mention that this platform is for all political parties. I always like to make that reference so that other political parties out there who want to sell themselves to Nigerians, Edolites, can come on board and take
the invitations are even out there.
We send our invitation out to all political parties, and we are hoping they will honor this invitation so that Edo people can get an opportunity to feel them and to meet them.
And we also like to ask those very difficult questions. Like you saw myself and Honorable trying to clarify certain statements.
It's important
to be sure that the right informations. You are on the other side. You on the other side of the radio. You are getting the very
no ambiguity.
Right information from us. So any political party that is not here, I always like to call them out. It's either you all don't want to talk to the people you want to represent, or it's just reckless disregard for the people you want to represent.
Or you don't have something to say.
Or you don't have, that's exactly, because if you do, this platform is very open for you to come and face us. Tell us what you want to do. We have questions that we want to ask, clarity that we need in certain areas, and we do hope that they would honor all this invitation. It will get to a point, you all know me, I'll start calling their names one after the other. So far so good. We've had the Labour
Party and Action Democratic Party.
And Action Democratic Party. So far so good. These are the only two political parties
that
have shown up from the very many. I do hope that they have something really they need to say, and we're here to take them on this platform.
Oh yeah, ever ready. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, every week. Road to 2023.
So if you're out there, you are a political party member, go and ask your political leaders why they are not on the road to 2023 and why they are not talking.
And Chuks, just to add that tomorrow we expect another person from Labour Party. It seems to be the only party that is willing to take advantage of this platform.
Okay, thank you so much. I would still call him Honorable Derrick, the former councillor.
Derrick.
The former councillor, and he is Ward 7, yes, and he is also vying for office under the platform of the Labour Party for the Edo State House of Assembly for Egor constituency. Thank you so much for coming around today.
Thank you for having me.
Gentlemen of the press, we'll do this again tomorrow.
I think it's a wrap.
Thank you. Road to 2023 returns again tomorrow, Wednesday, the first day in February. Good morning.